This poem, Stick on Stone, probably defines me. I was born on Achill Island in 1941. My father was a migratory labourer like most men on the island, so we only saw them a couple of weeks every year. And this poem deals with the consequences of our estrangement. Stick on Stone. We knew each other only as men. Immigration saw to that. Him in London, me in Achill. Me in London, him in Luton. Even living together, we remained strangers in our rented room, speaking, not talking, robbed of our relative roles. Sure, there were memories. One golden Ducanella day when Mick the Yank called. We straddled a low stone wall, talked of Wimpy and McAlpine, of roads and bridges, digs and pubs. The boy was man. An afternoon booze in Wandsworth. 3 of us now living in London, yet conversing only the once. Inheritance was split, spoils divided, unequally, but with good humour. Porrick was always his favourite, and mine. Nights in Castlebar Hospital, after the immigrants' dreaded summons, "Come now, while I still knows you." Between the awkward silences came words of stuttered support. And he survived again and again. I almost made it that last time. Got to Westport before news of our final silence. Now, as I walk in Ramada, his gnarled stick, a stolen spoil, taps the unsaid on the tar stone road. The shenanigans on Capitol Hills during the week reminded me of the difference once again between belief and truth. It also brought to mind an event I did in Dublin years ago, where I was in a room with the great and the good of the land for some reason. And I realised that they too were floundering for truth. After a few chats. Anyway, I got this sonnet out of it. The utmost truth. A solemn gathering. The earnest poets, philosophers and theologians versed in weft of word and erudite discourse, the rudiments of life and death obsessed. Pet theories trashed, pet propositions flashed, fresh theses so politely sent to bed, old certainties dispatched with such panache, and yet, was aught of import really said? The more that we are shown, the less we see. Nothing that we have learned is absolute, and reason is but license to disagree. Good man has known for long this utmost truth, just like the ass, the ape, the stupid fly, survive to sally forth and multiply. I turned 79 over the Christmas. I generally just potter around the house, as befits my age. But there's one chore I've reserved for myself, bringing in the turf, which, funny enough, was the first chore I had back in Achill 75 years ago. But my daughter Claire doesn't think I'm fit carrying bags anymore, so I had to write this poem to explain to her why I must do it. Turfman, for Claire. I am the drawer of turf, doing it since I was 4 years old, keeping the tea chest full by the open fire of my Achill years, tidying up the smaller cloths as I went along, not scrambling over them to the bigger sods, harvesting them all to make our beds neat and free from weeds, bringing after-school tea to my father, cutting turf on Tullamore Bog, staying on to spread and foot and clamp on March and April Revo days, dragging the parlour gas to firmer ground. The clip-clop of horses' hooves on Closhreed Road, bringing home the makings of another rig to dream about in my London years. The long years of exile, before and after you were born. And now we're here in our Kerry years, everything different. All sausage tough machinery and bags. The sod too long to fit in the Stanley stove must be broken up, transferred from sack to sack, one for today, one for tomorrow, and two to last the week out. And I see you girling watching me, and I hear you're pleased to help, and I feel your cares for the aches and pains of age. But girling, can I explain that this is part of who I am, and part of who I've been, and need to be? It's my last dash for freedom. We are all of us the kids we were at 4 years old, still doing the things we've always done. Always. Last poem. Us poets often exaggerate the importance we have in society, and there are a fair number of egomaniacs in our ranks, to be fair. But we all know the real heroes, the people who sit in the corner quietly while we wrestle with Roger, or find themselves at the back of some drafty hall, listening to yet another boring reading. This poem is dedicated to these martyrs. It's called The Poet's Concert. Too many launches, growing paunches from drinking wine, just a subtle cough, dear, ever so soft, dear, when I reach page 49 of my ever so selectable, my ever so delectable collection. Oh, not another reading, vocal cords depleting, just a little clap, dear. What do you mean is crap, dear? I'll have you realise this poem won first prize, judged by my dearest friend. Ah, another workshop over, so why don't you just hover in the background, my dear? Let's meet my fawning fans, dear, feigning to understand my verbal dexterity, my command of the complexity of alliteration and allusion. Those books on the table, most of them unsold, not an uncommon story if truth were to unfold. My publishers do their best stuff, my dear, but if in the end they can't, our losses will be covered by an arty council grant. You see, we're in the inner sphere, dear. We fill the forms right, dear. We're no small beer, dear. We know the right people, dear. Most of them are here, dear. Sipping Chardonnay, lipping Beaujolais, networking. Professors, confessors, obsessors, champagne socialists, chauvinists, the loquacious, the salacious, the audacious, rhymers, old-timers, new age slammers, cliques, pricks, prigs, the awful, the doleful, the soulful, the woeful, all here, my dear, quaffing, faffing, bitching, laughing, moaning, droning on. I feel they're ignoring me. Your man at the back, he's snoring, see. I feel so underrated here. Feel I'm not celebrated, dear. We're out of here, dear. Fetch my folder, dear. Come burnish this lustrous ego. Thank you.